Hi, welcome to Corbett number 19. I'm on the Isle of Jura. Now I had intended walking the 3 paps of Jura, but various problems with ferries and one reason or another I'm not going to have time. So I'm just going to go up the Corbett, which is Beinn Hill of the Gold. Apparently there's a lot of fool's gold to be found around here. So I'm parked down near the bridge down there. You can see the sea in the background, sea level start, and a bit of a squelchy path that we're going to follow, and we're going to skirt that hillside and head up towards a lock. Just looking back at the little islands in the bay. That was a very boggy path, but it did rain all night. Hopefully when we get our height it might get less boggy. This path has been horrendous. I've been up to my knees 2 or 3 times. It's absolutely squelchy and boggy. But fortunately you can't see, but that's one of the 3 paps of Jura. Obviously we're not climbing them now, but it's not the Corbett. They've kindly placed some very large stones to cross the river, very deep, so needed. And we're at the side of the Lochen now, so we're going to skirt the Lochen before we head up the Corbett. So underneath the first pap here, and over there is a third. The Corbett is the middle one over there. What a fantastic view. Thankfully the ground become less boggy as I got above the Lochen. Now there's deer everywhere. I saw a sign near the ferry saying the island of deer, so maybe that's what Jura means, I'm not sure, but honestly there's deer everywhere. So we're on the underside here of Beinn. I think I'm going to make my way up to that shoulder. It's pretty much pathless now, to the Beinn over there, and then try and work my way up to the summit, I suppose, in the cloud. So I'm following this burn up the side, and I picked up a small path, maybe a stalker's path, heading in the right direction, so following this now. Looking down you can see it's quite steep, grassy. That path I was following seemed to have disappeared. Still heading upwards. So I picked up a track again, just skirting round the side, looking at the contours and taking it, because it's going to ease the gradient further round. So we're making our way up to that shoulder now, and then we'll follow the shoulder up to the summit, which is in the clouds. A lot of climbing still to do. So I've been following this track. It's quite a good track actually, and it's just veered off right straight up the side of the hill. Very steep, but I'm going to stick with this track because it's a good one. About 250 meters still of climbing, so ouch. So I come to this small cairn. The track's turned grassy and there's a cairn here, so I think that's a good indicator for me to start scrambling up this scree side. So away we go. Yes, very steep, very scree, although there is a path trying to cut its way through the scree. It stands on it up there if you can see him. Wow. Okay, I'm at the spot height 763 here, and there's a stone shelter there and a bigger stone shelter there. So if anybody get into difficulty, there you go. So the summit's up this way, up this scree. So here we are, Beinn. Apparently the views are stunning. Fortunately, not today. Right, I'm going to retrace my steps back to that shelter. So retracing my steps. This top section was very steep. Need to be careful. Hey Stan, what do you think? So back at the cairn, we've come off the scramble, which there's a great little path weaving its way through, making life very easy actually, considering the gradient. Now we're following this grass track back down off the mountain. So there's a glen bottom down there. We're pathless again. You can just make out the locken over there, and there's that burn that I followed earlier. So I'm cutting across to the burn and we'll follow it down and pick up that path that took us round the locken earlier. So here we are, we've picked up the track that runs down beside the lock over there. I've taken the higher path of the two, circumnavigating the locken, and it's been quite a good path, quite dry compared to the bog that we're in first thing, and indeed we've got to go back through. So if you are walking this, I'd suggest you do take this one because it's a decent path. That's the first pap. Looking back up, that's where we've been, up in the cloud, and that's the third pap, still in the cloud. It's supposed to be a spectacular walk. What do you think, Stan? Eh? So here we are, back at the stepping stones. Stan's showing you how it's done. I was waiting. So there's the bridge that we parked at. Just got to cross this last bit of squidgy, oh, it's horrible. I don't believe it. We've just landed back on the Isle of Islay off the ferry, and the clouds have cleared and the paps of Jura. Look at that over there.